Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another Top Tier Talk. This week, Ben's going to be able to chill well in the second leg as Chelsea lose 2-0 to Madrid and lose at the bridge again to Brighton. United throw away a 2-goal lead in Europe, but had a 2-goal lead against Forest at the weekend. And Arsenal throw away a 2-goal lead for the second weekend in a row as they draw 2-2 with West Ham. Let's get into it. Who are we starting with then? We'll finish on Arsenal. We'll start with the meme. Just continue with the meme, Chelsea. Amir, take it away.
Yeah, let's do the meme, the banter club, because we really are.
You are terrible. Yes, thank you. Just wanted to get that out. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Sorry, I just.
Tell me something I don't know. Firstly, yeah, Real Madrid game. It was good for the first 2 minutes. A couple counter-attack opportunities, then we got absolutely played off the park. Couldn't get out of our own half. Probably quite lucky to keep it at 2-0 with the sending off. One or two half chances or good chances Mason Mount had, but we got absolutely dominated. And yeah, I'm not confident going into the second leg tomorrow. And Kepa was at fault for the first goal, I'd say. I think could have got a stronger palm on it. Maybe I'm being too critical, but yeah. On to the Brighton game now. Did you have a question?
No, go on.
No, okay, on to the Brighton game. I've not seen us get cooked like that in ages at the bridge, by the way. Because the bridge used to be a fortress. I said this in my player ratings, but it's not anymore. We got cooked by Brighton. Fair enough to Brighton. Did the double over us. Such a lucky goal by Gallagher. Just pot luck, deflection goal. But the winner from Nkisa was absolutely nuts. Absolutely crazy.
It was a screamer.
And all these Chelsea fans, you guys know I'm Kepa out, but anyone saying Kepa's arms are too short, he should have saved that, is absolutely chatting out their arse. No keeper is saving that. What a wonder goal. And a fully deserved Brighton win. And something I have heard this week is all rumours. Obviously, you read it. We all read stuff. I don't know. It's not confirmed. Luis Enrique was wanting to take over straight away in time for the Real Madrid game because of obviously his ties with Barca. And if that was the case and we brought Lampard instead, what a crap decision from Todd Boehly. Another crap decision. And I think we would have had a better chance of Enrique over Frank Lampard because Frank Lampard isn't the guy. It's a publicity thing to get the fans back on side, and it's not paid off at all. And we're going to be out of the Champions League tomorrow, I think.
100%.
Any questions? You want to cook?
Okay, question.
Go on.
Would it have been better to have kept Potter over Lampard?
No, Potter was done as well. They're both useless managers.
No, but if you're not going to get your actual manager, you're just doing something for no reason.
No, but
Lampard.
But Lampard is more likely to get the fans back on side than Potter because he's a club legend in some fans' eyes, not in mine. As a player, obviously, I love Lampard. He's my favourite player of all time. But as a manager, for some of these fans, like Rory Jennings, he can do no wrong, regardless of what he does. They can't criticise him. So it's smart by Boehly to bring in a fan favourite, a legend of this club back because he knows that he's not going to be on the end of everything. So I understand it. I think that's...
Yeah, but doesn't that turn the attention to Boehly then, which is what's happening?
Yeah, it did. It did on Saturday. He got there's a few pictures of people confronting him and he actually spent an hour in the dressing room afterwards. Fuck knows what he was saying. Defense. I don't know what he was saying, but it's not good enough. I heard today he also singled out one of our signings, major players, who came in the summer. Obviously, people think it's like other players, this, that, Sterling, etc. But he absolutely cooked one of the players in the dressing room for this mentality as well. So I don't know what it is, but manager-wise, he's got it all wrong. He's completely fucked us up really in that one. But
okay, can I ask about João Felix? And would you sign him once the season's done?
I would sign João Felix definitely. Do
you think he's done enough to show that he's good?
I think the team in general is crap. No one has shown bar Enzo and a couple others that they've been good. But I think João Felix, the talent is there. He looks like he's the man, and I'm more than happy to have him and then sell on Havertz. So I would want to sign João Felix, and for the 85 million range, I would gladly take him, 100%.
But as you said before, if it's in the summer, if you're getting rid of a load of dead wood, and obviously you're going to have to even the books out and stuff because you have spent a lot of money.
You have an issue, yeah.
But then, well, no, but it's if they're going to clear out some, as you said, Havertz before, Lukaku's still your player to come, potentially go out or whatever, then you've got that money and that slot that you can fit in non-homegrown foreign players into your squad, and obviously you'll have the money as well.
I back Felix. Felix looks like a tremendous player. 6 months. This whole team has been a shambles all year, so it's not that like what's the word for it? Surprising. He's coming to a crap side and he's looked much worse. But you can see the kind of player he is technically and stuff. I think it's a confidence issue with the team as well. I think if the team thrives, he'll be an absolute player, and he looks it. Definitely much more than Havertz as well.
Okay, last question, because we did talk about it when Weghorst was signed to United and Felix went to Chelsea. So far, do you think Felix or Weghorst, who's had a better loan spell?
Absolutely Felix. Definitely Felix.
You think Felix has had a better loan spell? Why?
Definitely. To me,
Based on
Weghorst, Felix is not an natural striker. Firstly, Weghorst is absolutely crap striker. He doesn't offer anything. He's on the bench for you all the time. The fact that a half-injured Martial comes in and takes over his position shows a lot for a Wout Weghorst, to be honest. That's all I say. I know he's won a trophy. I know he runs his heart out, but I don't really give a shit about that. As a striker, it's goals and stuff. And he's got the same amount of goals as Felix, which is crap. And that's a United team that's thriving, that's been on top this season compared to previous season. This is one of the worst Chelsea teams. He's got the same amount of goals. Crazy.
Well, I asked you what puts Felix ahead of Weghorst, and you just talked about Weghorst. What is it that Felix has done that makes his loan spell better than Weghorst?
Felix is a creative player. He's obviously scored.
In the loan spell,
striker. Pardon?
In the spell he's having right now.
Yeah, I know, but the whole team's crap. So
then technically,
but the question was, I'm not saying we all know. We all know Felix is better than Weghorst, but
Felix, you just want to say Weghorst.
No, but based on what's Felix done in his
he ran in the Europa League, he should. He ran in the.
Basically, who's done better in the Premier League?
In the Premier League, definitely Felix.
No, not Premier League. It's about the loan spell. The loan spell wasn't just for the Premier League.
We're not in the same competition though, so it doesn't. If we only go on
my question was loan spell. It's all about the competition. Guess what? Weghorst isn't in the Champions League, so you can't have
100%.
But what has he done that's better than getting an assist in the final?
What do you mean? What's he done better than getting an assist in the? I know he got the assist in the final, but a striker's main goal is to score goals. No, isn't that what striker? We bring strikers in to score goals. Am I right?
But the question isn't about what a striker's job is.
No, but it is though, because we're talking in their positions. I'd take Felix any day. 100% Felix would have done.
I would too, but I'm saying who has had the better few months.
At United, he would do much more output.
That's also not the question.
What's your question?
Not answering the question.
Because every time I said Felix, that answered your question, no?
You're talking about Weghorst when you give the answer about Felix. Felix has had one red card. He's been underwhelming. He's hit the crossbar 15 times, and he's done nothing. Whereas you look at a player like Enzo, and Enzo's unbelievable.
With all this you've said, and the free
and he's still unbelievable,
and the red card, and the ban, he's got the same amount of Premier League goals as Weghorst.
But they all compete in different competitions. You can't. The Premier League isn't the be all or end all.
That's the competition they're both in. So that's what I'm going off.
All right.
Cool. Elliot, you got
what's your answer then? Let me very quickly spin it on him, because he's obviously pro Weghorst. So why is it Weghorst for you? Because
Weghorst had his best performance in the United shirt in a final in which he got an assist.
Then why is he always on the bench?
Because Martial is a better player than Weghorst. Martial is a better player than Weghorst.
He's not even good enough to be your first choice striker.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, yeah. But that still means he's had a better spell than Felix.
He's not had a better spell. How can you have a better spell?
That just shows how bad Felix's spell has been.
If you're out of favour, then that your point doesn't make sense.
As you said, firing Man United team. Of course Felix is going to start for Chelsea. That'd be embarrassing if he didn't.
Man United team, Felix's output would be far greater than Woot's. Double, triple.
Well, we'll never know, will we? Because
we'll see next season when he's thriving at Chelsea and Weghorst is back.
Oh, I'm sure Felix will outclass Weghorst. But I did say in this 6 months, Weghorst would.
Well done. Yeah. Next person.
Elliot, have you got anything to fire at Amir while he's kicking while he's down, sort of thing?
It's kind of funny how, I don't know if you guys saw the Premier League get a tweet out, by the way. I think it was maybe a week or two ago. They put out bottom 10, and then it showed everyone in the bottom 10 from 11th down. And then this week they decided to put bottom 9 because Chelsea were in that bottom 10, and they didn't want to disrespect Chelsea. I found that quite funny because Chelsea's a diabolical club at the moment. Even the Premier League don't want to.
It was like when Liverpool did. Like Liverpool were like 13th, and they did like a top 13.
A diabolical club is a terrible way of putting it. A diabolical season, I 100% agree with, but not a diabolical club. Definitely.
Diabolical club at this moment in time, yeah.
Yeah, because you're not being run very well.
Your club is terribly run.
Yeah, your club is terribly run.
It's a project, mate. as I said, it's
Project.
still a project.
Wasn't Potter part of the project?
What a project is
Exactly.
sacking and hiring managers.
Who's
Not
next?
really, not really. Do you see how much time they're taking to assess who the next manager will be?
Yeah, who is it?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
going to
by
get
getting-
sacked again, and they're going to say
by
how
getting
long he's there
Lampard
for,
in,
and
so
then
they
sack
relegate
him,
him and
and then
The
implement his
right
ideas now.
appointment will be made, and at this moment it's looking like it's going to be Nagelsmann from all these reports.
I thought you said it was going to be Enrique.
I wanted it to be Enrique, but I don't think it is. I think with the Vale and the RB Leipzig leagues, it looks like it's going to be Nagelsmann. And to be fair, it's not my first choice, but I back it. I back.
Amir,
Nagelsmann,
do you know
definitely.
this pace at which they're getting the new manager and their inability to do it at a quick pace? Do you not think that's affecting your team because you have a manager right now who's not going to be here next season? So every second you spent with Lampard is a waste of time because you're not even building towards
This
the future
season's
with
a
the new
waste of
manager
time. What
and their ideas.
What is realistically? We were out of all the cup competitions, apart from the Champions League, of course. When
But you can get your manager now, right? And he could implement his ideas.
yeah, but if we get a manager now and he turns out to be the wrong appointment, and then we sack him 5-6 months down the line, then what? Then
Well, why is it taking you
Back to
so long
square one.
compared to teams do it within a day
no,
to get a new manager?
yeah, we want the right. Why didn't you guys go for Ten Hag as soon as Oli was set?
Because Ten Hag wanted to see out the season with Ajax. As you're saying, Enrique
And
might be interested in coming now.
And Nagelsmann doesn't want to go to a club till the season ends, and he wants a pre-season. So similar situations there, isn't it?
Well, clearly you don't have the pool that we thought you would to
We
encourage a manager to come 2 months earlier.
Have the pool. We signed one of the best young midfielders in the world in one of our worst seasons. In
And he regrets every
one of your
second of
better
it.
seasons, you sign Wout Weghorst. So there is obviously levels to this shit, isn't there, Chavez? There is levels, and at the moment you're on the rise, but the mouth needs to close a bit sometimes. Let's move on to the next team.
Speaking of levels, levels to different areas of defending. Manchester United scored 2 own goals against Sevilla last week, throwing away a 2-goal lead in the last 5 minutes of the game. Thoughts, Chavez?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of similar to the 7-0 where the goals we were conceding were just, they're not goals in which you go, actually, the whole team's performed terribly and there's a systematic problem. There were 2 deflections. What can you do? It happens in football. And for the last one, we were down to 10 men. So it's not one of them where I'm like, oh my God, like our whole system that Ten Hag has put down is wrong. It was just unlucky. And to be honest, we shouldn't allow that to happen. It's actually on the other end where we should be scoring 4 or 5. I mean, the XG we're creating right now is the most I've ever seen in my life since XG was made. I think in the last 2 games, it's been almost 8. And that's something we never do. But we're scoring much less than that. Similar problem to what Chelsea have. We just don't put our chances away, but we create a bit more. So end up with that odd goal or 2. So we need to be a bit more clinical. But aside from that, I think we're performing really well. Since that Newcastle game, the performances have been brilliant. Brentford, Everton, Sevilla, and this game. Attacking, everything is fine. So I don't know. It's the team's changed now because one of the biggest things you can see that's happened is Eriksen before when he wasn't in the team. He's been gone for a few months, right? And Eriksen had a few bad performances before he left. And it was because he was getting exposed for off the ball. He was not a physical presence, right? That's not his game. And now Eriksen's come back in and you can see straight away that he doesn't even need to be a presence because we have control. We control games now. Everyone is much better on the ball. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a different player. Some of these players did not know how to play with the ball to the level they suddenly do now, like Lindelof, Dalot, they're all much more, you can see they've worked on it. So now players like Eriksen that come in, they don't need to be as much like, off the ball that good. Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen, 15 out of 17, they are unbeaten, 88% win rate. That trio is incredible. If you want to talk about controlling a game, that's the trio playing midfield. And yeah, the centre-backs came in, filled in well. This is how it's going to have to be. If we want to get top 4 and win another trophy, the players that are filling in are going to have to play the way they did in that game because Dalot just randomly put in a blinder out of position. So we'll see what happens. If they carry on, then by all means.
With all the injuries you've got now, what is your prediction for United's end of the season? Is it going to be just a top 4 or do you reckon another trophy? So what is your
a lot changed. I'll admit, a lot changed after Thursday, and it wasn't because of the result. I did not anticipate Martinez and Varane just to be out for the season. So when that happened, for me now, unequivocally, I don't think we're going to win the FA Cup. I would be very surprised if we beat Brighton on Sunday. And I think Brighton, the 2 players that they're missing now, makes the game a bit more interesting. I think Veltman and Ferguson are gone. So Welbeck's going to have to start. He's not terrible, is he? He scored in recent games. But I think Brighton will have the better of us. They're one of the best teams in the league, and I don't see us beating them with the team we have. In Wembley. But aside from that, I think we can still win the Europa League. Aside from not winning the FA Cup, because even if we do beat Brighton, we've got Man City, and this Man City team is, we'll see. We have to wait because they have to win the league, Champions League and FA Cup, but this might be the best Man City team Pep has ever managed. So we'll see.
Even better than the Agueros and the David Silvers.
If they do the treble, and who's stopping them from the treble, then yeah, like 100%.
Yeah. So you think for you it's going to be
I think the FA Cup's done. Yeah,
the FA Cup's
more
done?
the
You
FA
think, so is the Europa League in the top 4 then? You reckon for the prediction for the end of the season?
No, top 4 will get it, but the problem with the Europa League is normally I'd say Spain, tax, whatever, will get knocked out by Sevilla, but Sevilla are not a good team. I mean, what they put on in front of us was shambles. They probably, I don't know if you see the Goldbridge clip, he was talking about how the Sevilla team isn't going to score in 7 years.
And as the ball hits the back of the net.
That. Yeah, it's because they literally don't pose a threat. Lamela was playing striker, so the goals they scored, they were very lucky. I mean, they should be so happy that they got 2 goals out of that game. I don't see any threat in that team.
But it's almost like
if a Juventus or a Rome or a Feyenoord or a team or a Leverkusen.
So I think the actual threat is Feyenoord or Roma. Whoever wins that will meet us in the final. Juve is our next game if they beat Sporting, and Juve are not the same team. I don't know. I don't think we're that much off Juve. We're better than Juve this season. So,
but it's almost like if you look at that game, like almost the Sporting Arsenal game in regards of the first game, both teams had chances to win it, and then it was obviously is it Gonçalves scored from the halfway line? Was it him? Like a complete, a complete, yeah, but also a complete flip, like a freak of nature. Like no one scores from the halfway line. It's almost like you should have been ahead. You've had chances to be ahead. You've scored 2 own goals, and now you've got to go to their stadium and play them. Again, they could play terrible. They could also win 1-0 and park the bus for 95 minutes. It also, that's football though, isn't it?
Yeah, my concern's kind of going now because, first of all, Martial's come back in this team. And if he stays fit, you can see our whole team, every single player just plays better with the guy on the pitch. But it's so annoying because he's never on the pitch. If they can just keep him fit, and I'm noticing Ten Hag's managing him differently now. Subs him off after the 60th minute, keep doing that. If you need to sub him off at halftime, do it. Because the guy can't be injured now. We've got Rashford coming back. I mean, I don't know. I think the position we've lost, if Lindelof and Shaw, who's going to come in, can fill it in, then there's not too much of an issue. I think we'll be clinical, hopefully, and then we'll be fine in the Europa League. But yeah, we'll see. Anything can happen in Spain with the referees as well.
Well, that doesn't just mean Spain. I mean, the referees in our country are great.
Yeah, but you go away from home in Spain, and you know you're away from home in Spain.
Yeah, I suppose so. As Elliot's run off, I suppose I'll just give my 60 seconds about Watford. Playoff push is back on. Beat Bristol 2-0. Bristol City, sorry for the person that commented on my player ratings. There's more than one Bristol, but they're clear of Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers are mudded. But yeah, it was I mean, I'm joking when I say playoffs are back on. We're 4 points off. Blackburn have got a game in hand. And our fixtures going in are great. We've dropped, up before Saturday, we've dropped seven points from winning positions in our last 5 games, which again, we were 2-0 up in one game against Coventry, and we were 1-0 up against Wigan, who hadn't even paid their players, and they still had enough fight in them to come back and score a goal and nearly win the game as well, which says a lot about us at the minute. But yeah, this season's a write-off. Chris Wilder's going to be gone by the looks of things. Not getting sacked, just his contract's going to run out, so that's a nice change of scenery as well. But yeah, there's a lot of Pozzo out, Pozzo in talk at the minute. Whether you agree with it or not, the one thing I don't agree with is they have been kicking fans out of the stadium for walking around with banners. It's 2 weeks in a row there's been banners, and 2 weeks in a row security have kicked the people out of the stadium and confiscated the banners, which is, whether you agree with it or not, is completely the wrong way to go about it, I feel. I don't know what you two think about it. Obviously not the whole Pozzo situation, but obviously you've had protests, obviously, with certain managers being sacked, or obviously Chavez, you and the Glazers and stuff like that. Obviously, if you'd have gone to Old Trafford and where you get your scarves out, your banners out, and they start kicking fans out, like, I don't think that's right.
I think fans should have their opinion. They should be allowed to say what they want, but kicking them out for being against the board is a bit excessive in my opinion. So we did it in the Super League, and then they listened to us.
Yeah,
obviously checking all them come out, and I think fans, the be all end all is football is for the fans, so they should be able to have opinion. You shouldn't be kicked.
And it's the only one thing that I did see. I'll carry on rambling while Elliot's gone missing, just like Arsenal did in the second half of the weekend.
I'm more than happy to speak on it as well.
Okay, well, I was just going to say the last point. I'll touch on the last point. Just I saw on Twitter this morning. The fan went to try and buy tickets to the game, and the club's actually blocked his home and away access, so he can't get tickets or go to the games until he meets with someone at the club. But because he's breached rules, but no one's actually said what the rule is, and there's no articles saying like it's not a public rule. So which I think again is a bit strange, but again, I'm sure it'll be solved at some point soon. So yeah, I was unfortunately out. Oh, as he's back. Well,
Let him say his piece.
yeah,
Go on.
let him say his piece. West Ham United 2,
Oh,
Arsenal 2.
Funny game. Very funny game. Look, it's exactly what happened last game against Liverpool. We went 2-0 up. We had a fucking great 20-25 minutes in the first half, and then all of a sudden something just went incredibly wrong. We decided to get complacent again, made the same mistakes again. Everyone just decided, no, we're 2-0 up now, we can just kind of see this out. No, like, why? I don't understand the mentality behind it. I want to say, by the way, Saka had a shocker. Even without the penalty, he had an absolute shocker. Odegaard had a shocker. Who else had a shocker? Do you know what I mean? Most of the team had an absolute shocking performance, but I don't
Odegaard was
understand
good.
what is going on. What were you going to say, me? No, Party had a shocker.
Odegaard was very good. Party, sorry. Yeah.
And I don't understand it because obviously, like, all well and good that we have, like, everyone knows that we're in a title race, and we keep getting these stupid kind of comments from them as well, just saying frustrating and this, that, and the other. But nothing changes. It's all well and good saying, "Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that differently next time," but you don't. You literally do not do anything differently. If you saw the Liverpool game, we made the exact same mistakes in this West Ham game. We sat back a bit and we didn't attack further on for the next kind of kind of for the first half. Even if we saw that 2-0 and played like really well for the 30, 45 minutes, it would have drained them. So then at half time they wouldn't have anything to have the morale to boost them. But we let them get a goal back. We get complacent, and then they're fired up for the second half. And look what happened: 2-2. Stupid football, and it actually gets annoying now. Because I'm trying to stick behind the boys, but with these stupid common mistakes that continue to happen every single time that we get into the lead, it's just ridiculous because it's points that we should not be dropping.
Do you think? I mean, you've dropped 4 points over the last 2 weeks. That would have put you 8 points clear? Am I right in saying that?
It would have put us a way on top, 100% away.
Again, they've got a game in hand and you've got to play each other, but that still would have left
and now our
you 2 points clear
with Man City on behind us. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to lose a game.
Do you think West Ham have saved themselves from relegation and you've kissed a title goodbye? Do you reckon that's what's happened there?
No, we're still 4 points clear. People are forgetting that. Obviously, look, I'm all about getting behind the team, but they need to understand that performance was absolutely inexcusable and it was ridiculous. So we need.
Can I? Are you done or can I go?
I was just going to quickly say we need to go into the next game with Southampton with the level-headedness of, yes, they're bottom of the league, but it does not fucking matter. We dominate and we absolutely, even if we beat them 7-0, I don't care. We need to just go into that game like with the head of just basically, this is it. Like, this is our chance to win a Premier League. Not instead of, oh, we're top, it doesn't matter.
Would you not rather the team, instead of beating them 7-0, because that wouldn't prove anything, would you not rather you went behind and the team come back and wins this time?
No.
So it might help them.
No,
but
would you rather just let them score a goal to start the game?
Okay, well, no, but as in, again, Elliot was saying complacency. If they go and just tear apart something,
I understand what you mean, but no, I would not want that.
This is where I come in for this. Firstly, I think you're going around this the wrong way. You should be supporting your team further.
No. I said this
because
you should be proud.
It's a lack of experience. This is the reason why your team's complacent. How many youngsters you have in your team compared to Man City? They're winners. They've won the Premier League so many times. You can't blame these players. The first ever time they're experiencing a title race, you should be getting behind them. The complacency.
If I paid you £200,000 a week to do a fucking job, I don't care how old you are. You could be 7 years old.
All season.
Do the fucking job properly.
They've done this. They've done it.
They've done the job. Their job this season was to get top 4. They've smashed it.
Their job. Well, no. If I'm going to link it back to your idol, Chavez, Roy Keane. When Gary Neville was like, "Yeah, they should be happy even if they get second." No, like we've hit this part now that we can't just drop off and go, "Yeah, so I will get top 4 anyway. Who cares?"
No.
It's good that we got to second. Fuck that. We're in a position that it's in our hands now. We have to win every single game, every single one, except the Man City one, and maybe we draw. If we get a draw and win every other single one, sweet as a nut.
No, as I said, the issue is lack of experience, is lack of winners in your team, unfortunately, and that's what the difference is between you and Man City. Because I saw mirrors in your game against West Ham and the Man City Leicester game. First 20 minutes, the most dominant football I've seen.
Yeah, for us, innit? We dominated. We absolutely cleared.
As City did, mirrored against Leicester. The issue with you guys and them is they know how to see out a game. They know how to keep possession. You guys can't. You're erratic, etc. And to be honest, that's not going to change so quickly one game after the other. It's going to be with experience. You need to build up experience.
No, I
It's
understand
not
that,
something
but
you
what,
learn overnight.
but what I'm saying is, like even if I'm 22, I've got no fucking experience, but I'd still know how to kind of see out as best I can away if we're still top of the league, 4 points clear. Do you know what I mean? Experience or not, you still got a better foundation of how to fucking play
football.
football.
Nuts. And Saka, unfortunately,
had a shocker.
The pressure got to him.
Yeah, he had a shocker. He had an absolute shocker that game. Don't know why he didn't get brought off.
And to be honest, another issue is that I said to Joe, and he obviously laughed at it. I think Arsenal have got this kind of a little bottling gene in them at the moment that they need to just get out. Last season, you guys bottled top 4. This season looks like you're bottling the league. It's a bottling gene that you just need to try and get out of. And the more the seasons go on, the more this team grows together, it will. And that's what, to me, it's looking like this season.
I think these are experiences, aren't they? In like 3-4 years' time, when you probably will challenge for the title again, like these players will have gone through this and they'll be better suited for it. This is why I said, regardless of, no one's denying how good you are, and no one's denying the talent, the ceiling of your players. But you're up against Man City. This is why I said unequivocally, and there was no doubt Man City are going to win this league.
It's David versus Goliath.
It doesn't. This is still outstanding. Like, it's still an incredible season. The players have already done their job. If they were to just sit down and do nothing now, they've still done their job.
Yeah, but Chavez,
top 4 is confirmed.
Chavez,
if you look at the course of the season,
Chavez, if I put it in your shoes, though, let's say, for example, Man United are first, 4 points clear, and Man City, as they say, are still doing Man City, and they're absolutely dominant at the moment. In your eyes, you'd be like, do you know what? We have to go on and win it. Am I right?
Well, sure, but with a young team full of youngsters, I'd expect
it doesn't matter, youngsters or not. You can have a team full of OA fucking Ps if you want.
Well,
they've still got to do the job. They've got to this point. And see
it out.
Players
to have one things then.
I think the frustrating. I'd hazard a guess. Obviously, Elliot will either agree or disagree with me. The frustrating thing is, if you look at the course of this season, Arsenal will probably been. I know they're top of the league, but that's a stupid argument. But because other teams have played better than where they should be, but Arsenal have probably been the most consistent and you could argue even best team this season. Obviously, Newcastle have exceeded, Villa have exceeded, Bournemouth and Fulham obviously. City. Yeah, because City haven't been like now they're starting to go on a run. They look like a team of killers.
The crunch times now.
Exactly. But then that's why it's so annoying for Arsenal because they've been there the whole season and they're starting to do that. City just do that and then just like when Liverpool were
yeah, but that's what top teams do.
Yeah,
that's
when Liverpool were like what was it? When Liverpool were like 8 points clear or 10 points clear at Christmas, and City won like 19 games on the bounce or something. Like they just don't know when they're even was it last season when they were 2-0 down to Villa or something at home and they just don't know when they're beat and they score 3 goals in like 15, 18 minutes.
The thing is, I know what you mean about the whole aspect of City are proven winners and they know how to win and everything like that. And I don't dispute that. I think, do you know what I mean, they're all about it. But sometimes there's got to be a point where another team comes out somewhere and can withstand the pressure and regardless of experience or not, can see out a certain achievement within their club.
Liverpool did that.
Exactly. Liverpool did that. Why can't we do it?
That was Liverpool a few years down the process.
But that's Liverpool. That's Liverpool. Why is that different though? Because they're not youngsters.
No, because it took time. That wasn't Klopp's first or second season though.
That was like 4
That was a few years. Yeah.
And I understand though why it hurts more for El though, because they were 2-0 up in both these games.
Yeah. That's why I'm pissed off. If we were losing these games like this, fair enough.
But you bottled it.
Yeah, it's
sure, but you have.
I'm still not wrong for saying that a performance against West Ham is inexcusable.
You can't sit there and blame a team for losing to this Man City team. You can't, even if Man United,
you're not hearing me.
Sir Alex lost the league to this Man City team, I'd be like, okay, because this is an incredible team.
These games that we should have won, for example, what Amir said, these games where you're 2-0 up and then you fucking draw 2-2. Like, I'm expecting to go to Man City's ground and lose. I'm all about it because they are they're probably if not the best team in the world right now. I'm not expecting anything going there. But West Ham fucking away when they're fighting relegation, and I know Liverpool's a bookie team in a moment, but we're still 2-0 fucking up. Shit like that is ridiculous.
But this is the thing. If you win those last 2 games, the league's yours.
That's what I'm saying. If we don't, shit like that.
If they've lost the league, there's no more if and but.
But that's what I'm saying.
Even
the last 2 games. No, it's not because it's still in Arsenal's hands as much as it is in City's. Because everyone's going, it's in City's hands because they've got game in hand and they've got to play Arsenal. But if City win their game in hand and then lose to Arsenal, like it's in Arsenal's hands still.
That's
whoever wins that game.
But they're not losing.
We don't know.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a question? I ask you every week.
Arsenal win the
Honestly,
league.
like, no wanting, hope, this and that. Prediction: are Arsenal going to win the league? Your life's on it. Mortgage.
Yes.
Fair
It's
enough.
just
He's
delusion.
got
Like,
so heart in it. He's got heart in it. He's got to back his boys. But it's with experience though. And another thing that maybe I would be a bit cautious of if I was an Arsenal fan, because if it's not going to be this season and they don't build on it over the summer, when is it going to be for them again?
I think Arsenal fans need to accept that they may potentially not be there in the running again for the next 2-3 years. And if Arteta doesn't lose any players, then yeah, he'll be back, but not straight away. Like there'll be a period where Chelsea will come in, Liverpool, those immediate emergency signings, Chelsea will gel. So I think Arsenal not winning the league this season may potentially lead to them not winning it for quite a long time. So I said, like, there's a good chance Man United and Chelsea will win it before Arsenal.
If they get the Rices, the players they need, the squad depth, then maybe it's an.
Yeah, we won't know how they're on his act after this. Like, we won't know, but we'll have to see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Is there any other teams you wanna? You're on mute.
Dan, I think you're muted.
Fortunately, yeah. I was going to say congratulations to Haaland for breaking yet again another record. It seems like it's every week now. He's just doing something ridiculous. Yeah. Any other teams or any other?
Quick predictions for the Chelsea Real Madrid game tomorrow. I do want to hear it from you.
6-0 Madrid.
Yeah, you're losing 4-0.
I'm gonna say 1-1.
Not bad. I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea. Win on pens.
No.
Wishful.
Well,
Wishful.
we've got one of us has got to be right somehow, I suppose, haven't we? So might as well go for it. Oh well, if no one else has got anything to say, then that was a video for this week. Enjoy. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and see you next week.